Good afternoon, everyone. I take this opportunity to thank Outlook for inviting me here. I am personally thankful to the entire Outlook team, and thanks to Indranil, Nidhi, and everyone. And I also congratulate Outlook for making this initiative is one. It's not only talk of the town but talk of the country. And we are fortunate to work with Outlook over last 1 decade, and probably the perspective of changing for us on the entire money outlook on the money itself. And before I start, probably it is a time for us to compliment Pranjal for the great session. I look forward for an applause for Pranjal once again. Such an utmost clarity, the content and the whole intent and the value system with which he had come. You can see his body language to the way he explained. Really amazing. At that age, that maturity, I think he's a right influencer I look at, and I look forward for such people to be in this industry. And for me, this topic which I talk, strategies, the moment you look at it, it looks like a boring language. And Nidhi was talking to us, we were talking, this could be a mode where we can make it as a workshop. And with the audience here and very evolved audience, I don't know whether it's a running workshop in 25 minutes is possible. But there is one thing, if we can plan our if I have not planned my retirement rightly, and that is a place I have neither work, there is no work, and there is nothing, no money to shop. And probably I'll stop on that workshop, but I'll do one small exercise to start with. And I think most of us were sitting for last 1 hour. Can we stand up for a minute or a second? And those who can't, please stay and we participate in my exercise. Thank you so much. And now the next question quickly comes to you. All of you are carrying your wallet or purse, but don't open it. Without the opening, let me know whether you are aware how much exact money you have in your pocket? How many of you know? Okay. Those who said yes, please stand up. Those who said no, please sit up. Fantastic. I think those who said how much you are having in your pocket, they can stand. Exact money, how much you hold. I think, very handful of us, we carry our wallet down. And the second question for some of you who are standing up, in the last transaction of your UPI or last transaction of the cash withdrawal, how much you did for what you did? If you are aware, then stand up. If you are not aware, please be seated. I'm sure I got only 10-15% of it. Then the last question for the 10-15% of you, what was the total budget or the expenses you spent in the month of September? Do you have an exact idea or details? Fantastic. And rest of you can sit, only 2 or 3 of them. We can three of you. Congratulate those 3 or 4. I think you are the one. And those of us who are sitting too early, it's a time for us to stand up for our planning. And those 4, they can get there. I think this is where, we are not conscious or we are unconscious of our money habits. And that's where we need that kind of planning is required. With this, I think, Indranil has given a great data to us. It's a rising life expectancy or inflation and the health inflation, which is going up. And health inflation, honestly, we can't even budget what is the health inflation can come for us. It all depends on when you hospitalize, how you are hospitalized, your health inflation can be higher. If suddenly I fall sick in Delhi, probably my colleague can take to a corporate hospital. Before checking my pulse, they will check my purse or my insurance. And that's where we need to plan, how we need to plan for that retirement. And the second study, when Indranil was talking about, most of us, we have not planned for it. And most of us looking forward, our next generation is taking care of it. When it is coming to the retirement planning, probably there are 2 things we need to keep as a sacrosanct. One, your child cannot be your retirement plan. You cannot be your child's emergency plan. You are not an emergency fund to your child, and your child cannot be a retirement fund. If you can keep these 2 principles, then we can talk about retirement. And retirement in India, fortunately or unfortunately, yesterday most of the speakers spoke about, especially the women panel, which is debated. It's a fantastic panel I had yesterday. I know a lot of learnings from all the 4 wonderful women. And more so, it is when Nidhi said yesterday, it is a retirement planning could be a celebration. And today their entire Outlook Expo, they put it nicely. It's called the EXPO. Expo is that E part, we are in this room. It is all the education. And the X part is the exhibition where we can go to each of the stall and understand. And the P part, there are planners who are there. We can get it very planning. And the last O part is how we can get this entire environment very optimistic. Probably we also have a lot of, it's a good living around. But 60 is the number. Thank you, Nidhi. And this 60 is the number, which is sometimes very panicky number. Sometimes it's a forcefully retirement. And the fear is, the question is here, the topic, will I have enough money to meet my all expenses? This each of us very different and each of us plan very differently. And when we do these workshops across, we ask the people, what is that one word coming to your mind when it is a retirement? People say it's a long life ahead. Some says it's an anxiety, some says it's an opportunity. Some says, it's a long phase of life which I need to live. And some says, I'm stopping my life at work. I'm going to work at my life. And whichever the way you define, how you can work for your retirement is, there is the old way, which is, you are becoming old and you are becoming unhealthy or you are becoming financially dependent. That creates an anxiety, that creates an uncertainty, that creates a sense of loss of purpose. You need to replace this with a new way of thinking. I think we need to hardwire our brain. The new way of looking at is retirement could be a great opportunity. It is for us to get rejuvenated, and it's maintaining the good health is the most important. Yesterday, one of the panelists was talking about the happy retirement, that why part. I am only not aging. Aging can happen automatically, but the why part is the youthfulness you can even bring at 100 years. Aging and growing, these are the two different words. And aging can happen automatically, but growing is when you are adding life to your age, you are growing. That youthfulness, how you can bring in. And then the last one is how you can look at financial independence. And this can give you the fulfillment of purpose and well-being, and thus you need to have these strong social connections. Today we are talking about finance, but your friends who can make a lot of difference. Your family can make a difference. It is not one F can define the retirement. There are 3 Fs. Your friends, your family, and your finances. This can make a lot of difference in your retirement life to be more happiest retirement. This is where the happiest faces you can see. And there is a little noise. Probably, this is where happens when we are planning for our retirement or something. There is a noise around, but you need to have a voice around. You need to listen to yourself, don't listen to others. I think when Pranjal spoke about that. And retirement is sometimes we get confused with the financial independence. Retirement, you like it or not, it happens. Financial independence, you need to plan for it. And retirement is, it's at one age it is. Then we need to look how we can work for the financial independence, and you need to choose that financial independence. And for me, retirement is something called, we call it as a golden age. That golden age, we call it a plan for the golden age. Unfortunately, it's a golden age plan, but it's a GAP. It is a gap in many of us. And the best part of the golden age is, can you bring the gold into your golden age? What is that gold? For me, it is, the gold is, it's an acronym. G is you are gainfully engaged. You are working even after retirement gainfully. You are making something out of it. Either income or an impact or a combination of this. O is you are optimally invested. Your money, what you are getting, you are invested rightly. L is your lifestyle. You design a lifestyle or you define a lifestyle, or the lifestyle you intend to do it. Last, the D is the discipline you are bringing into the whole gamut of life. Then that can truly become a golden age. And I think Indranil spoke about why we need to plan for the retirement is things are changing much faster. I think when Pranjal spoke about 100 years you want to work, and there is a wonderful book written by one of the professors from London School of Economics by name Professor Linda Granton, and she says the child who is born now may not 100 years, and that child may have to work for 100 years. Imagine our work life can be 100 years. And that is how we can plan for it. And there is no social security for many of us. We need to look for that security, how I can get myself. This is where the planning helps us. Means retirement for us, it is a long life and the less income. And income stops, but our expenses doesn't stop. And it's a loss of title and loss of purpose. Probably, there is a wonderful question come from one of the Gen Zs in the Pranjal session. In our life, if I can divide into 3 parts, if it is a 90 years, or first 30 years, we are pursuing our studies and pursuing, the purpose is to pursue our studies and getting into the employment. Next 30 years is pursuing our purse. We are building our wealth. And the last 30 years or 40 years, pursuing our purpose. I mean, and that is the pulse of us. That pulse, PULSE, is an acronym for me, which I call PU is a purpose for which you are living in, and L is the legacy you are going to create and give it to the next generation. S is your sustainability, and E is your economic stability. If you can plan that rightly, then you are giving true meaning to the retirement. And the phases of retirement can be very different. It could be accumulation phase. First 30 years or 40 years we are creating a wealth. And we are talking about the strategies to get that wealth to sustain for the distribution phase. That's where we can look at our financial independence, how it can work for us. Then do we have that right goals? I call this as I start normally, I ask when I do workshops, this is a longer workshops, we do 90 minutes workshops. I start with a caption called life is good. How many of you feel life is good? Thank you so much, everyone. And that life is good for me is LIFE in financial parlance. LIFE is living in financial empowerment. Life. Ease is IS, investing rightly and saving wisely. And it can become good only when you have a goal, G for goal, O for optimally invested, and you optimize the risk, and D is the diversified your money. Then for retirement also you should have that goal, and retirement goal is not just finance, it's a multiple goals, and it's a steady income is one of these. But I again thanks Nidhi and the way they designed. Yesterday Nidhi had a session with DP, and it's about SIP saga. It is a systematic investment plan, how it is created, mutual fund SIA, mutual fund Sarale. And today we are ending the session with Gaurji. That is another SIP for us. That is a spirituality in progress. Means our life starts with the investment, our life starts with ends with the spirituality. I think the way it has been conceived is fantastic. Where we can look at is how I can get that steady income. Then retirement planning, how I can manage my finances in retirement. All that I need to do is I need to look my cash flows. I need to have the retirement corpus. I think when Pranjal spoke about, it's a 4% withdrawal plan, what kind of corpus I need to create. Each of us need a different kind of corpus because each of us are very differently. And personal finance is person before the finance. And it is each of us, my life plan, my financial plan is very different from the, and Sarupji here and Sarup's plan. It's like each of us comes from a different background and different mindsets, and it comes in. And what I do in accumulation phase and how I can use for the distribution phase, all that I need to plan. It's like question is what age I want to retire. Question is what income or what a kind of corpus I intend to retire. And some of us who have not planned, probably we have best of the planners. We can sit with them and do it, how we can do. And managing finances is the most important part in the retirement stage. And this is a stage where income stops and expenses will continue to do, and your ability to take the risk may come down, or psychologically it will come down even you have a quite good amount of corpus, and your expenses you need to ensure till the last minute. My savings need to outlive my life. That is the goal where we need to work for it, and my cash flows till the end how I need to get there. And last but not the least, when I am leaving this world, I need to transfer the wealth to the next generation. How I am going to give back to the next generation. What is that I intend to do? And what is the kind of impact I want to create? Not only next generation, some of us want to give it to the society. It's a kind of work we need to do it. And this is where we need to get the budgeting part which is right. When I did this exercise earlier, most of us, I think except 4 of us in this room, who have not even done the monthly budgeting. And if you have not done that, I think time for us to go back and look this weekend. And this is a time of Navratri. And we celebrate, Goddess Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati, and we are also celebrating our retirement, celebrating our life and celebrations. It's called in Sanskrit, it's a Utsav. Utsav can happen when you are Utsah, you are happy. And then for that you need in Sanskrit a word called Utprayer, that inspiration. Today I think I thank Outlook for making this time is so good. And it's also time is so good. First 3 days of the Navratri, normally we worship Goddess Saraswati. Probably today it is an educational campaign. And next 3 days it's a Goddess Lakshmi. We can go back and rework on our finances. You can visit some of our stalls and you can see what you need to go back and work. What is that you need to relook. And the last one is 3 days is Goddess Durga, probably in the bull market when you are investing, you should, in bear market also you need to have a courage, bull market also you should have a courage. Bull market, what happens is, we are deaf to the risks, and bull market and bear market, we are blind to the opportunities. And look, that goddess Durga should bless you for it. And where you need to have this smart budgeting. And smart budgeting is nothing but what money you are getting, where you intend to get there, and what are your savings and investments, how you are having. Constant education is also equally important. Things are changing much faster. How you can look at very differently. And proper budget will help you to create that surplus for the lifetime. If you do not have a budget, and I have seen most of the retirees, they get sudden wealth stage. And there is a time where they don't know how to manage their money, and they won't ready to get an employing a financial advisor or financial planner, and they end up that losing the money very quickly because giving it to someone or spending very quickly that money, and later we are repenting for it. You need to have that smart budgeting. And it's initially when I thought I was doing a workshop, in the Excel sheet, when you are doing an Excel, you can do nice cash flows. What is your inflow, what is your outflow, how you are planning for it, how the surplus or deficit you can create for the next 30 years or next 40 years. And this is an Excel sheet I intend to create, and how you need to get that cash flows to get there. But it is accumulation stage. You use at mutual funds. We have this fantastic tool called SIP, and SIP for you during the accumulation stage, I look at not just systematic investment plan. I look at this SIP for me is staying invested perpetually. Just don't worry about it. And the second stage of the in your preservation, it's a time where you are transition. You have systematically transferred the assets to the lesser risk. And the last one is SWP during the distribution phase. And what are the 6 strategies I look at how I can get the sustainable income during my retirement? The best part I can look at is create your multiple income stores. While I am working, I am getting my salary or my business income. Can I convert my salary income into the passive income? Can I make that as a portfolio income? Can I look at it as a multiple incomes? It could be a retirement, it could be something. Yesterday, I think, when Mr. Deepak Ji has come, he was talking about how NPS is creating. But unfortunately, we are all pre-NPS. We are truly NPS. Means never planned we have never have a pension system for us, and we have never planned systematically for it. Probably, you can look at whether it's NPS, UPS, or retirement with the mutual funds, you can do that. And the safe withdrawal plan, Pranjal spoke about it. It's a 4% withdrawal plan. 4% is roughly works out your 300 times of your last pay, expenses you need. If this month I am retiring, if I need 1 lakh rupees, probably I need 3 crores at a 4% 4% level. That's the corpus I need to look at. You need to work on the safe withdrawal and ensure you take out tax efficient way. You can have as much as income possible. How you can pay less and you can make surplus more. Paying tax is good for the country, saving tax is good for you. Probably you need to balance both. And diversification is spreading your investments across the assets. Yesterday we had a conversation with the fund managers, how each asset class can play a very different role. And you have a dynamic withdrawal plan. There is a period you made a lot of money, there is a period you have not made money. And how you can put that in a very different perspective, create a corpus. And the last one which I need to focus little more is have a bucket strategy. Retiring is nothing but, you don't need money tomorrow morning. You are going to live for next 30 years or 40 years. How you can convert that into 3 bucket system. It is like, first you can look at how the multiple sources of money which is coming in, what are the cash flows you have, how that cash flow can convert in and various income sources you are getting it, and use that bucket system. What is this bucket system? Probably, if somebody is retiring, first 3 to 5 years money, you need to look at not the return, but you need to look at the safety, you need at the liquidity of the money. Whether you are getting your money right, is it safe? Am I getting? This is the first bucket. Second bucket of 5 to 10 years, you can come to the, funds like a balanced advantage. It's a hybrid funds or it's a long duration funds where you can get steady income and also steady growth, but it can be a lesser risky. But above money which is above 10 years, it's another 20 years you are going to live, or that money can give the capital appreciation to you, where you can look at that can go to your other asset class which can give a higher return. I can talk about equity or any other asset class where you can look at. You divide your corpus into 3 buckets. That can be a proven system for you where you can get the surpluses. This could be one of the strategies we can look at. And the Excel sheet I was working it, I'll just skip on this. These are the Excel sheets where we do. You can come to our website and see the calculators. SEBI has created a fabulous calculator. So you can go to the SEBI's website and you get all these calculators done. And I mean, it's on our website too, we have. And you have a various products, whether it is a NPS, whether you have a, you can invest through the debt mutual funds, or you have a various other guaranteed return schemes. You can divide your corpus into various purposes, where you can look at various investment assets. It's like, this can be your entire mind map for your retirement products available to you. It's like, whether it's a mutual funds, whether it's a bank deposit, whether it's a postal deposit, it is it's an insurance, it's an annuity, and senior citizen scheme, everything on one slide which we can show. And there is something can grow the corpus, something can give you the income, and you can distribute among things. But the important part of is, we don't have a control on the market, but what we need to do is we should have a control on ourselves. During retirement phase, stick to that plan, stay with the plan, have that emotional balance, have that financial discipline, and you have a periodic review, but have one good financial advisor with you, who will be, she or he will be your coach, so that you will not get into the wrong side, and never do such mistakes. These are the top 10 retirement mistakes which is done after a study. We should not do that. Most of us, retirement planning is an assumption. We have a multiple ROIs: rate of interest, rate of inflation, return of regularity of income, return on my income. And then you need to look at what kind of ROI you're looking at. You are understanding the inflation, or you can ask the question how long you are going to live. Sometimes I expect, I may not live for beyond 70, but you may live for 100. How you are planning for it? And you either invest so conservatively or you invest so aggressively. How you need to balance it, that's the most important part. And understanding the cost and understanding the medical experience. I think there is a good stalls around elder care, etc., which is available, which you can look at, how that healthcare cost can go up. Are you planning for it? How are you getting it right? And the whole retirement planning is a journey. It is not one-day affair. Continuous education is the most important. I'm personally thankful to entire Outlook team, and we work on month on a lot of educational content, and you get that content which can get, true intent is to get you continuously educated for it. And all that you need to do is keep a dashboard, keep one-page plan for yourself. That one-page plan for you is how you can get, retirement is a phase where you are moving from active income to active lifestyle to the passive life. But your passive income can become active income for you. How you can get there is, develop that savings strategy, assess your current financial situation, and define your retirement goals, how you can plan for it, and what is that you need, what is the corpus you need for it. And you have a safe withdrawal plan, you have a tax efficiency, you have your estate planning is the most important plan, and planning for your longevity, how long you live for it. This could be your one-page dashboard where you can plan for your retirement. And with this, I will take a pause. And before I end up, I can say I started with a life is good. I will say life is great. Retirement life is great. What I can talk this life is, that is a living in financial empowerment. This is living in freedom and inquiry. Retirement life is. And IS here is impact on the society you need to create. And how you can become great is like, GR is growing regular income, and E is your estate planning, A is your asset allocation, and T is the tax efficient income. Then your life can become great. And before I end up, we are at Pragati Maidan today, and I would like to have the AV to be played. Can you look at that AV?
सचिन सर, आप किस एज में रिटायर हुए थे?
40।
धोनी सर, आप किस एज में रिटायर हुए थे?
39।
डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर दिया यार।
डिस्ट्रैक्ट?
सॉरी सर, सोच रहा था काश मेरी भी रिटायर्ड लाइफ आप जैसी हो, रिलैक्स्ड।
उसके लिए मैदान में उतरना पड़ेगा।
उतरूंगा ना सर।
अरे भाई आ गई म्यूचुअल फंड्स के मैदान में।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स?
हर महीने इन्वेस्ट करो, फ्यूचर की तैयारी करो।
करोड़ों लोग इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं और देश के साथ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
तुम क्यों साइड में बैठ के देख रहे हो?
तो आ जाओ मैदान में।
सही है सर।
अब खेल ले।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
I have another 8 seconds left before I leave. We are in Pragati Maidan, the Maidan which can be a progressive, if I can convert into English. And you come to the mutual fund for Maidan, you get your progressive retirement for the prosperous retirement and the peaceful retirement. Wishing you all happy retirement. Thank you so much. God bless you all.